like I unfortunately chosen the most important topic, cloud computing. All eyes are like cloud. Okay. So since morning I've been getting feedback from my friends. Okay, Rahul, cloud computing, कब से यार? Okay, I said okay, let's talk about it. And the cloud computing is really interesting topic. And though I am Fusion application developer, this topic is very interesting. And when I searched over the internet, I found a lot of things. So I thought to extract the good information and present in front of you what exactly cloud computing is. So welcome to cloud computing. Uh, Let me tell you one thing. I mean, someday all of us are like, okay, today we are very techno savvy and I want to search about cloud computing, what exactly it is. So you hit Google and you see cloud computing. The results what you get are not exactly about cloud computing. They are all about marketing strategy of the own companies. Just for example, you write cloud computing and IBM document will come out, then Oracle document will come out, Cisco document will come out. So all of them are giving disguised picture of what exactly cloud computing, and they are orienting cloud computing as per their own product. So there was a lot of fuss in the market what exactly cloud computing is. So you guys are also interested in knowing about it. So let me tell you what are computing powers. Can we guys just name it? Server, storage devices, networks, and applications. So these are computing powers. All of these we are using over the cloud, and that is cloud computing. Let me tell you one short, quick story about cloud computing. Why exactly this has got so much popular? Is cloud computing was not there in the market before? Yes, it was there, but it was there under the name of SaaS. It wasn't called as a cloud computing. So you must be remembering one speech by Larry Ellison. He was telling like, cloud computing, what the hell is cloud computing? Is it a water vapor? But nowadays everyone is talking about cloud computing. I'll give you one short story and then you will understand. So this is actually power generation plant. Centuries ago, all companies were generating their own powers in their own houses. But later they all switched to national power grid. Why? Because generation of power in their own house was not efficient. It was not cost effective. So they moved to national power grid. So the streamlined power was coming to their organization and they could focus on their own business, not on the generation of power. That exactly is cloud computing. You have clouds, you have dedicated servers, you have fast computing facilities, and you are using it over the internet. That's what cloud computing is. So initially, these industries were also skeptic about like how the power is going to be delivered and is it going to be secure and what kind of forgery it might have. But over the period, it has proved that national grid has more advantages than generating power in its own house. So is that cloud computing concept is clear? So with this, I'll open you the NIST definition. What is NIST? NIST is National Institute of Standard and Technology. It is also called as NBS, that is National Bureau of Standard. It is a subsidiary of United States Department of Commerce. So whatever it decides is considered as a standard across the industry. So NIST has come up with the definition of what exactly cloud computing is. So this definition looks quite difficult, right? So over this session, you just give me 10 minutes and I'll make you understand every word of this definition. As of now, you just remember that cloud computing model promotes availability. Is the five essential characteristics, 3 service models, and 4 deployment models. Let me go back. 5 essential characteristics, 3 service models, and 4 deployment models. If you understand just 3 things, that what defines the foundation for the cloud computing. So let's go into this one by one. SaaS. This is part of service models. SaaS allows users to run their own existing applications over the internet. So this is not new concept to us. You must be knowing, let's say for example, Google Doc. Have all of you used Google Docs, right? So it's just a product which we use over the internet. So that's what this SaaS is. As simple as that. software as a service. So you are using a software which is available on the internet, pay for what you used, and that's it. PaaS. PaaS is a platform as a service. It allows users to create their own applications using the platform available on the cloud and host there itself. IaaS. IaaS is infrastructure as a service. It allows users to run any applications over their favorite hardware facility available on the cloud. So let's get into the SaaS detail. SaaS is a software as a service. So you can see Google Docs, Zoho Sheet is a spreadsheet application provided over the internet. So these are all applications in front of us which are as good as a part of cloud computing. Microsoft Office Web Apps. So this provides the cloud computing facility over the internet. Pixlr is a very good application which will allow you to create your own designs. And this is not just limited to the creation facility like documents and spreadsheets. You can also host your business services over the internet. So ADP Employees is one of this. So that will give you HCM solutions over the internet. And this is Larry Ellison's favorite, Salesforce.com. You must have heard a lot about it when he talked about it in the open world. So Salesforce.com is very popular and it owns around 40% of market share in ERP. And their services are very popular over the cloud. And they provide facilities, they provide services like HCM facility and all ERP services they provide. So software as a services in the cloud has its own pros and cons. See, sometimes you will get a free service like Google Doc is there, or sometimes you pay via subscription, and it is accessible from any computer. Just you need to have a plug and play computer that runs internet. The facilities, it facilitates collaborative working, and the thing is that this is very important. Generic applications are not suitable for business use. Means you will generalize your applications for your, suppose you will have your own set of functional requirements and you will develop a software and you will host it over the internet. But you might have your organization that will have its own requirements which may not suit the application hosted over the cloud. So this is one of the biggest disadvantages of SaaS. Say for example Salesforce.com or let's say Oracle applications. If the customer wants to go for customizations, they want to change the forms and they want to change the different processes, it's difficult to change over the SaaS because application is already being hosted over the internet. Next is the platform as a service. It provides environments and tools for creating new online applications. Say for example, Google App Engine is there. So you will have a platform, you will create your own applications and you will host it there itself. For example, if you want to develop ADF application, you will use a PaaS, this is a platform as a service. You will use that facility available over the internet and you will develop it. So you don't have to pay for the license, it's just a pay as per use facility. And similarly we have Windows, Azure, and once again Salesforce. Salesforce also gives you facility to build your own business application and host it over the internet. It has got its own advantages and disadvantages. You can have rapid development at low cost. You don't have to invest in the licenses. You will have everything, you will have your platform ready. Don't have to pay for that. And you can just start your development. It can be a public or private development as per your organization need. Limits developers to provider languages and tools. Say for example, one cloud is there and it has a platform only for .NET. So it will just allow you to develop .NET applications itself. So for having multiple languages, you will have you will have to use different clouds, you will have to use different platforms, and risk of vendor locking. So the software or applications developed on one cloud may not be runnable on other cloud. So this is one of the disadvantages of PaaS. But Larry is consistently talking about this. I mean, last open world you must have heard that he has a cloud for PaaS which hosts Java-like languages and Groovy-like scripting languages. An application developed on these languages can be run on any cloud. So this kind of developments are keeping happening. Next is the IaaS. IaaS, it allows existing applications to run on cloud suppliers hardware. Suppose you have your company data center and it hosts two applications, application 1 and 2. So using cloud, you can move your applications to IaaS provided. So that gives you a lot of flexibility. Let's say, suppose today you buy a server which allows you to host only 1000 mail checkers, okay? So if you want to augment that capacity, if you want to increase that capacity, then you can choose the hardware available on the internet itself. Like Amazon Web Services there, and this is the rack space. It will allow you to host your servers just like this. So let me revise. What we have talked about is 4 service models: is the SaaS, IaaS, and PaaS. SaaS is a software as a service, PaaS is a platform as a service, and IaaS is an infrastructure as a service. So it comes with 4 deployment models. 4 deployment models are public clouds, private clouds, community clouds, hybrid clouds. Public clouds are like there will be only one cloud and you will be hosting some part of it. Let's say, for example, 2-3 organizations will stay in a one cloud. That will be multi-tenant architecture, what Oracle is planning as of now. Private cloud is like for one organization there will be only one cloud. And community cloud is the cloud which has similar interest. Let's say, for example, there is a group of university. They can go and find their interest in the community clouds. Let's say you have a music hosting company, then you will have community clouds. And next is the hybrid cloud. This is one good concept coming up nowadays this in the market. Hybrid cloud is a collection. I mean, it can be anything. It can be a collection of public, private, community. Say for example, you have hosted one application in the cloud, and you want to host it like public and private both. So when the peak time comes in your organization, let's say for example IPSF is there, investment proof declaration. So there is a peak time, and you know that the public cloud computing facility is not sufficient as of now. So in the hybrid cloud, when the space gets over in the public cloud, it extends to the private cloud. So it can use the facilities available over the both, and it can make the most of the facility provided on the public and private cloud. So these are these 4 deployment models. So now let's come back to NIST definition. Screen is alright, fine. So NIST definition consists of this definition, and it consists of 4 essential characteristics, 3 service deployment models, and the public-private hybrid cloud what we talked about. So it says that cloud computing is a model for enabling convenient on-demand network access to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. We know about computing resources, we know about on-demand, we know about convenience. So this is what cloud computing is. So, see, it is like telling users like computer is made up of hard disk, hard drive, monitor, and floppy disk. So cloud computing is same. It has same foundation. It is made up of 3 service models and 4 deployment models. So this is what the basic definition is. On this, there are so many different concepts like when shall I use private cloud, when shall I use public cloud, what model I should choose, whether I should choose IaaS or whether I should choose SaaS, whether I should choose PaaS, what would be the cost-effective model. So the theory goes on, and a lot of research is going in there. So I hope I made your basic fundamentals clear and 10 minutes worth of it.
It's not free. Like also one called hardware as a service.
Hardware?
Hardware as a service. AKAs.
Yeah, actually
So you see that space. That space is actually hardware as a service, and it also competes in IaaS.
Yeah, see, this is what is happening over the internet. I mean, everyone is putting their own term. So I basically stick to the definition
No, that,
of
so
NIST.
it takes a lot of time. It takes at least a year. You have to keep reading so you get into a full understanding of that.
That's what I stick to the global standard definition of cloud computing. Because things
everyone has
everyone has
definition.
different view. So this is going to be standard henceforth. NIST is National Institute of Standard Technology and is National Bureau of Standards. So,
and another thing which you might want to kind of change is you talked about that investment thing, the public cloud, private cloud. I think it's the other way around. You go into a private cloud and then you need more compute, you go into a public cloud.
Oh, is it right wrong?
You-